Until today, I can announce that we will have all our agricultural shows back on. This year, we'll have the Mount Pelia show and the St. Mary show, the St. Andrew show, and Denby show.
Investor Lifestyle Farm, welcome back to another episode. Today we have a special guest. Today we have another giant in the field of agriculture, someone who has made invaluable contribution to this sector. Welcome, Sir Fulton. How are you?
I'm good and thank you.
It's a privilege to have you on the program. And sir, we'll get into a few questions.
Thank you for considering me.
Yes, sir. So the first question, could you summarize your journey in the field of agriculture?
Well, it's from childhood, it's from I was born and bred on a farm. And then I became a 4-H clubite in my early primary school days, which sort of pushed me in this direction. So from very early, after leaving high school, I got 2 opportunities. One to go to MICO, the other to go to the Jamaica School of Agriculture. So I chose the Jamaica School of Agriculture because that's really my background. And then I continued through and worked as an extension officer with the St. Land Authority. And at that point I left to study at the University of Tuskegee and came back as an agricultural economist with the Ministry of Agriculture. And from then I occupied a number of positions in agriculture, to include the executive director of the 4-H clubs, the CEO of RADA, and now the president of the Jamaican Agriculture Society, and I remained throughout all these years as an active farmer as well. So it's kind of a life journey which began with agriculture and seemed that it will end with agriculture as well.
Excellent. So Sir Fulton, what is your greatest achievement or your legacy?
Well, let me begin with the 4-H clubs, the Jamaica 4-H clubs. When I went there, it was in rapid decline. And the first thing was to get it a workable structure so that we could employ the right people. Some of whom are there now, such as the current executive director, Dr. Ronald Blake, and many of whom have gone on to do other things. Some have retired and so on. Also to create new programs in the 4-H clubs, such as some of our social programs and fundraising programs like Nyamins and Jamins, which was one of the biggest food festivals ever in Jamaica. And we created other number of great programs, such like my big fight to get the Rio Tinto program under the management of the Jamaica 4-H Club, which I'm very happy to say that the current chairman, Colin Virgo, and the ED, Dr. Blake, and their board and staff have used to the advantage of the young people in Jamaica. So those are some of the things, and to have added to the program at the 4-H Club, things like leadership and management and more home economics program to show how you can use what we are producing here to the advantage of the Jamaica households and so on. So that's it. The other thing is my work at the Rural Agricultural Development Authority. I did a 3.5-year stint there, and I was happy that when I left, I worked and assisting the staff to earn more by creating a new organogram there, and everybody benefits. Plus, to see some of the record-breaking production in various crops, in yam, sweet potato, and in the condiments area, the ginger, the scallion, onion, and so on. And to have moved the Rural Agricultural Development Authority through one of the worst drought in 2014-15 that had ever hit farmers, and to create programs of sustainability and so on there. So I see that, and at the Jamaica Agriculture Society, I came in at the advent of the COVID to have kept it open and running throughout the COVID until today. I can announce that we will have all our agricultural shows back on. This year we'll have the Mount Pelia show and the St. Mary show, the St. Andrew show, and Denby show. So I think those are great, in my view, some of my greatest achievements. And to continue to, I would say, be one of the leading voice as an agricultural commentator in this country who can speak to most of the issues immediately without even going to do research. So I think I tried my best to keep agriculture going through these institutions because they are very important.
Yes, sir. Sir Fulton, I know basically your track record and you're well in demand. Why did you choose to stay in Jamaica? Because you could have stayed in the US. Why did you choose to stay in Jamaica to contribute to the agriculture sector?
Well, when you grow up in Jamaica and you go to like high school like me here and the Jamaica School of Agriculture, it was free education, I would put it. And you can't take taxpayers' money and then you see a greener pasture elsewhere and just drift there without giving your contribution. I think it's dishonesty in the long run. So, and I'm a Jamaican, and the other countries that I would have gone to are countries that do not like how we look, how we talk, and how we behave, because we are from an African stock that love our type of food, love our type of music. And if you want other people to love it and to enjoy, then you must come back and contribute to keep it going. If not, you might be taken over by foreign powers and live to their edict and their demand. So I come back because of the love and the contribution that I want to give.
Excellent. I know that you're always one of the voices for the farmers because you understand in terms of economics has been going on in terms of high input costs, and you're always batting for farmers. So what could you speak on the state of agriculture and how it affects the common farmer?
Well, I think we are not in a very good state now. I think agriculture needs an overhaul. In our recent budget presentation, none of the major presenters mentioned the word agriculture one time in their mouth. And I don't think it's good. So I would like to see even our current minister here, who is young and energetic and bright, to reposition agriculture in its rightful place. It is just wrong to be singing this old song, you contribute 8% to GDP. It's much more than that. When you add in the agro-processing side, the gastronomy side in the hotels and restaurants, and the non-food agriculture, such like our lawns and hedges that are put in entertainment spots and hotels, and these are our own nursery operators who are doing it. When you look on the non-food agriculture and look on our lumber, our steel and mahua, all the lumber we have that are being used in the furniture manufacturing establishment, and agriculture does not get any credit for that. All they give us for is that 8% of the primary product, and I don't think it's correct. I really think the state of reporting on agriculture in Jamaica is very terrible, and that should be a policy position from the Ministry of Agriculture to design how we report on agriculture. It can't continue because you depress our farmers. It is the first time in modern history that our roots and tuber, fruits and vegetable and condiment reached 777,000 tons. And when you look on the figure, it's the same 7.5%. It is wrong, and our economy cannot continue to suffice our people using US dollar to purchase. So I think where I would like to see agriculture go now is the spawning of new industries, such like a local feed industry, which I know the carbohydrate side of our feed can be made from cassava and sweet potato. And the crude protein side does not necessarily have to come through sorghum. It can come through cowpeas and black-eyed peas that have the same, or nearly the same crude protein digestibility and availability for our animals as is sorghum. I also know that we need to work harder to shift our ruminant back to grass and fodder. There are grasses today that can give you up to 75-80% digestible protein. So what is the point in feeding the animal with imported corn and sorghum if you don't afford it? The animal might grow 10% slower, yes, but your profit might increase 15 to 20% because you're not buying this expensive feed. So these are some of the direction that I would like to see the agriculture go. I would also like a redirection of the institution. I've rather needed more technical person, a grass expert, a vegetable expert. These specialists needed to get back in there so that they can give direction to the extension officers. And these specialists would be the nexus between, say, the RADA and research and university. And then and only then, for those things, then it will regain its pride of place in this economy and become indisputable one of the strong pillars on which the economy can be rested on, instead of just tourism, BPO, financial services and mining. Agriculture must be one of the pillars, and it is not now.
Yes, sir. What is your advice to young agriculturists, or persons within the sector?
My advice to them is that they should ensure that they accept technological transfer. It is no longer the pride of place for young farmers to be riding a donkey to a farm with one hoe in one basket, in one hamper, and another fork or a pickaxe in the other. If we continue on this trend, we won't be competitive. So I am saying, everybody is saying smart agriculture, yes. Climate smart agriculture. Agriculture is a business, but you have to understand the technology. In terms of predator larceny, which is killing us, it is a lack of technology too, because there are so many electronic devices that you could put on your farm that people don't even know that they are there to protect us from this very, very ugly scourge of predator larceny. So do your farming, but try and improve from the old traditional way of planting yam, where every yam hill will require a tree, which is a stake. We have to find a way out of that. So it's a good place to begin. It's the backbone of any country to feed our nation, but you need technological advancement to do so.
Yes. Sir Fulton, you know, a lot of credit should be given to you. I just want to give you your flowers, your roses, or respect in this time for your contribution to the field for agriculture, the field that I am a part of. And I hope this message reach viewers, millions of viewers who are watching this program. And any final word, because you're looking healthy and well?
Well, I'll be around to assist. I don't know for how much and for how longer, but I will assist, you know, and hope that the government will find a way for this year putting some money in agriculture. And don't come and tell us as farmers that you are giving $1 billion for production incentive. It's an insult. That's sort of feeding the peasantry, and we are not peasants.
Okay.
So you need money for investment. You have named a budget for 912 billion, and because of what I heard between both sides of the party, there will be between 65 billion and 99 billion, which is not budgeted for. So if you're going to assist agriculture, don't assist us in penury and peasantry. Do so as an investment to move the country
Sir Fulton,
forward.
another question. An era where the government can earn and bring in money for farmers, such as like Agriculture Development Fund. Could you speak to us about it?
Well, there was an agricultural fund that was developed by former president of the JS and former Custos of St. Mary, the Honorable Bobby Pottinger. And this fund was to take roughly 2 or 3% of all agricultural produce into this country from the end of the custom and create a fund, just like the National Housing Trust or the National Health Fund, or from all the other funds that have been developed from the gambling, the lotto, and these people. This fund was approved by both the late Prime Minister Edward Seaga and retired Prime Minister P.J. Patterson. And our late Minister of Agriculture, Roger Clark, started to implement the fund. But he began with the dairy products, that part of the program. And out of that came the Jamaica Development Dairy Board. So the fund is left there now to be further implemented by governments, whichever government is in power. I think it's some move now that the new minister could look into, and I'll personally send him the document for him to take a decision on it. It would put billions of dollars into agriculture in the same way the National Housing Trust is putting money into housing, and how National Lottery and so on is putting money into sports and education, and how the National Health Fund is putting money into the health sector. So it is something that we can develop, and I know that the IMF is not fanciful about these funds, but we must understand that the Jamaican economy does not have the underpinning to obey everything that the World Bank or these entities and IMF recommend. We need money into agriculture, and we see what is happening with getting money. Everybody is going to the public for IPO, and agriculture is not so structured to get money out of IPOs. So we need a fund for farm roads and for all the things. This would suffice.
Excellent. So you're saying that anytime anyone imports like sugar, say potato chips, chicken, feed, there will be a 3% added onto it.
That 3% of that value would be taken off to build this fund. And so government will actually start putting agriculture in their budget.
Yes.
Because this would suffice to run the agricultural sector.
Excellent. Sir Fulton, thank you. I hope the message gets out there. Please like, subscribe and share, viewers. Thank you again.
Thank you again too.
Yes, sir.